We immigrated from Italy in 1959. I was 8 years old. I can't remember what I had for dinner last night, but I remember the day that we docked at Pier 21. I remember my mom getting mad at me because I ran down the plank way ahead of her. She was so nervous of us falling in the water. In my heart, I'm still that 8-year-old. I didn't really appreciate what it was like for my mom and dad until I was much older. And I want my grandchildren to know that their great-grandparents sacrificed so that they could be here now.
We grew up in a countryside, Philippines. When I was 10 years old, I started to work on the farm, planting rice under the heat of the sun, making $1.25 Canadian a day. In 2005, I gave birth to my son. My parents were so disappointed. They thought that I failed. And I thought to myself, I'm gonna do something to help them out. So I came to Canada. I left my son behind to my mom. He was 2 years old. I think always that if I don't do this, what's gonna be his future? I picked him up when he was 10 years old to bring here. He didn't know me.
We left Syria and we went to the United Nations. And we were called refugees the first time. In 2013, that was heartbreaking. You will remember every time they call you refugee that you lost your home, you lost everything you have been doing since you were born. But when I arrived in Toronto, the Canadians, they were calling all the Syrians, they were calling them new Canadians. That was such a beautiful start for me once I just landed.
My son, when he gets here, like everything he has it. He's like, oh, the life is really good here. It feels like a home now because he's here.
I want my grandchildren to understand what Canada stands for. Tolerance, respect for other cultures.
When I applied to come to this country, it was like a light inside of the darkness. My family felt they can bring their culture with them here. There is a story behind everybody in this country.